Oh, it turns out we end up owing the bank a whole bunch of money, and the piece of real estate simply wasn't worth what we owed the bank. We were upside down. You hear that term a lot. So we're upside down on this thing, and it goes into the special assets section of the bank, the real estate owned REO department. And this is a whole different set of people, than the people that you see when you walk into the bank in the downtown branch. Of course, nowadays you don't even go to the bank. It's all online. But back then, you actually went into the bank and you sat down with the loan officer and you did business. And the REO folks are a whole different ball of wax. They're here to try to figure out this problem. They tend to be, I don't know, I kind of found them to be kind of creative problem solvers. They had to figure out, what do I do with this mess? How do I fix it? And so that was the first time that I personally, and I'd read about these things and I'd heard about them, but it was the first time that I personally got to deal with that section of the bank. And, I begged, I pleaded, they don't want to hear any of that. It's all numbers to them. And again, this piece of real estate wasn't worth what we owed the bank. So long story short, it came around that I said, okay, well, let me buy this note from you. Okay. So, we had it in an LLC, and I say, all right, bank, let me buy this debt from you. So we negotiated a price for me to buy the debt, and it was less than what we owed. So they had to write it down, or they had to reduce the amount that we owed. They had to eat the loss, right? So the difference between what I paid them and what we owed them, the bank had to just eat this and say, all right, that's a loss. We're never getting that. And we just write it off. And by the way, I don't feel too sorry for banks because they don't lose much money, if you've ever noticed. But this that I bought, I paid them cash money for this.